Hello and welcome back to the Garden Magic tutorial. You are watching the third video in this series, so if you have missed out on the two tutorials which precede this one, I will have a link to the full playlist at the end of this video, so you have an easy access to catch up. If you haven't gotten your hands on your own copy of the Garden Magic Planner yet, it is available on Amazon, as well as your local brick-and-mortar bookstore. As promised in the previous video, in this tutorial we will be taking a jump into the unknown future and make it reveal itself to us. So, without any further ado, let's dive right into it. For the future to reveal itself to us, we will once again make use of the fabulous website astro.com. But instead of making use of the current data on where the moon resides, like we did on our previous tutorial, we will take a leap forward and try to find out in which zodiac sign the moon is going to reside on any given day and on any given time in the near or distant future. This feature comes in very handy when one has a busy life and tries to plan the garden work ahead of time. So, for example, let's say I have set some time aside to work in the garden and to sow some seeds on Friday, March 19th. To make the garden magic work and to be able to have it fulfill its full potential, I need to know exactly what I will be dealing with at set time frame. Will this selected time frame fall into the category of the root plants? Or will this time be better suited to take care of the leaf plants, the flower plants, or maybe even the fruit plants? Like you, I don't know, but I want to know to be able to better plan my work ahead. So, come on, let's find out together. Once you have opened up the astro.com website, you look for the tab Free Horoscopes right next to the Home tab, and when you hover your mouse over this tab, it automatically shows you a vast array of free horoscopes that the astro.com website offers. For today's endeavor, however, we will be needing the natal chart ascendant horoscope, because everything has a birth date and a birth time. Not only humans and animals, but also every event has a birthday. So, for example, when you are starting a business, or you want to buy a house, or you have to sign an important contract, all of these events have a birthday. And to steer the wheel of fortune in your favor, you want to select that birth date with the uttermost care and precision. So, when it comes to our garden work and sowing our seeds, it is needless to say that when we select the most favorable dates and times, the garden magic will take our game of gardening to a whole other level. Now, if you click on the Natal Chart Ascendant tab, you will be taken to the free chart page. I am going to assume that you are new here to this website and that you are a guest user. If you are already familiar with the astro.com website and you are a registered user, feel free to sign in, but it is not necessary at all. Astro.com provides these horoscopes free of charge to you without any registration needed. So, let's click on this line right here, which will lead us directly to the data entry page. Since astro.com is a European website and therefore it has to follow the European guidelines about data and privacy protection, a window about your data privacy might pop up, but I do not know if that is the case all over the world. So, if it does, you can click on the green Accept button and you will be taken straight to the birth data entry page. Now, like I have mentioned earlier in this video, everything from weddings to sales to contracts to sowing seeds and garden work, it all has a birth date. So, what we are trying to do here is to find out where the moon is residing on any given date and hour in the future. Remember, I made a little room in my schedule on Friday, March 19th to do some garden work and especially to start some seeds. So I want to know which seeds I can start on that day related to the position of the moon in the zodiac. So On the birth data entry page, I am going to fill in Friday, March 19th in the section that's called First Name. Remember, we are trying to find out the position of the moon for an event here, not a person or an animal. Now, last name is optional, so I don't want to waste any time with filling that part in here, but of course you can if you want to. Now, when it comes to gender, I naturally will select the option event/other, and when the blue selection mark appears, you will notice a line pops up stating event chart, no interpretation will be offered. This is okay. However much we like the interpretations offered by the astro.com website for any birthdays of people or animals, we will interpret the chart of our event, which in this case will be garden work and some seed starting, ourselves in the moments to come. Next, I will be entering the date. First, the day which is the 19th. Next, I select the month, which in this case will be March. And lastly, I will select the year, which at the time of recording this video is 2021. Now, it is possible that you have discovered this video only recently, and by the time you are watching this, it is a 2031. Then you can obviously select the year 2031. But back to 2021 for now. Next up, the website asks you to enter an hour. Here I always select the time of day I want to start with my garden work, because it is the initial starting moment that is of the utmost influence. I would like to start early, let's say 9 o'clock, so I select 9 a.m. and I leave the minutes to 0. Now, for the birth town, this doesn't mean your town of birth, but in this case it stands for the town where your garden work will take place. Now, for most of you, your garden will be located just right in front or on the back side of your home where you live. However, it is possible that you rent a small piece in a community garden, or maybe you even own a small patch of land in the town next to where you live. In any case, the place where you will do your garden work is the one we are looking for here. So you can start typing in the name of the location where your garden is located, and astro.com will show a pop-up with a suggestion. In my case, that is Lommel, so I click on it and the astro.com website will automatically fill in the coordinates for my location. Now, for the more perceptive ones amongst us, you will have noticed that in the top of the right-hand corner of the page, some rather mysterious looking symbols have appeared whilst we were filling in our birth data entry form. These symbols are not that difficult to read once you get the hang of it, but for those of you that are brand new to this garden magic, I will go over them briefly. The first symbol you see here is the symbol of the sun. Both the sun and the moon are regarded as planets in astrology, and although technically speaking the sun nor the moon are planets when looked upon in a strict scientific way, for the use of astrology they are included in the list of planets, and like each of the zodiac signs is represented by a symbol, we already have discovered this in our previous video, each of the planets is also represented by its very own symbol. Now, you recognize this symbol here as the symbol of the sun, and so this symbol is identical to the symbol of the sun used by the astro.com website. Next to the symbol of the sun, we see a symbol for a zodiac sign. Putting the two together, this combination of two symbols simply means that on the time, date and location that we have selected in our birth chart, the sun is residing in that specific zodiac sign. In our case, the sun is residing in Pisces. This zodiac sign will change as the sun travels through each of the zodiac signs throughout the year. So, when you enter your specific details into the birth data entry form, the sun could reside in either Gemini or Pisces or Taurus or basically any of the 12 zodiac signs. Next to the symbol of the sun and its accompanying zodiac sign, we find the symbol for the moon, and right next to that, the symbol of the zodiac sign in which the moon resides in our selected date and time. This zodiac sign will also change as we go forward in time, but it will change much more rapidly than the sun changes zodiac signs, because the moon pays a visit to each of the 12 different zodiac signs in about roughly 28 days. And where and when the moon is resided in a certain zodiac sign is of course very important to know, because with each shift of the moon from one zodiac sign to the next, our root, leaf, flower and fruit hours shift accordingly. So let's find out if the moon stays in the same zodiac sign for the 24 hours that fill up the entire day of March 19th. First, let's change the hour to 1 a.m. and we see that the symbol of the zodiac sign for the moon stays the same. So at 1 a.m. on March 19th, the moon is in Gemini. Now, let's go all the way to the end of the day, 23 p.m. And although you see some numbers shifting over here on the right side, the symbol of the zodiac sign of the moon remains the same, namely Gemini. As we know from our previous video, when the moon resides in the zodiac sign of Gemini, this is the best time for the flower plants. Knowing this, we can take our garden magic planner out and we can safely color in our flower hours for March 19th, because we are sure that the moon stays in exactly the same zodiac sign for the whole entire day. But this is obviously not always the case, as sometimes the moon can cross over from one sign to the next during the day. Let's see if I can give you an example of that. Let's fill in a new date, say the 9th of March, and we start our day at 1 a.m. with the moon in the zodiac sign of Capricorn. Now, if I forward the time to, let's say, 10 a.m. that same morning, you can see that the zodiac sign where the moon is situated in has shifted from Capricorn to Aquarius. So, somewhere between 1 a.m. and 10 a.m. the moon has moved from one zodiac sign to the next. Now, it is easy to find that exact moment of shift. Simply go back an hour to 9 o'clock a.m. and as you can see, nothing changes. The zodiac sign remains Aquarius. So, let's go back another hour to 8 a.m. and spot on. We see the symbol of the zodiac sign changing back to Capricorn, the zodiac sign we started our day with at 1 a.m. So, this means that from 1 a.m. all the way up to 8 a.m. the moon is located in the zodiac sign of Capricorn. But somewhere between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. the moon shifts from Capricorn to Aquarius. So let's jump right on to 11 p.m. and yes, at 11 p.m. the moon is still in the zodiac sign of Aquarius. So when we take out our garden magic planner, we can now go coloring both the root hours and the flower hours. The root hours starting from 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. as we are sure now that the moon is in the zodiac sign of Capricorn during those hours. And we already know from our previous video that when the moon resides in Capricorn, this means that we are dealing with a time where the root plants thrive best. And second, from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. we have the moon residing in the zodiac sign of Aquarius. And once again, referencing back to the previous video, we know that the flower plants do well when the moon resides in the zodiac sign of Aquarius. So now we can comfortably color in both our root and flower hour section in our garden magic planner for March 9th. From 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. I color the root hours in brown, but you obviously can choose any color you like. For me, however, the brown color reminds me a little bit of the color of the soil, obviously the place where the roots of our plants are situated, as well as where the edible parts of the root plants grow. Next up are the flower hours from when the moon resides in the zodiac sign of Aquarius, which, as we have seen, is from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. For this, I use my yellow marker, referring a bit to sunflowers, I guess, although flowers come in a rainbow of color varieties, so you can choose whichever color you prefer. So, we have covered a lot in this video, and I urge you to go and play with your garden magic planner to become acquainted with all the peculiarities of the travels of the moon through the 12 different zodiac signs. I highly recommend you try out some days for yourself using this step-by-step tutorial. See where it leads you, and if any questions should pop up, please put them in the comment section below, so I will be able to address them in my future videos. Now, as promised, there is a shortcut to all of this, which comes in handy especially when you want to downsize your screen time, or if you are just a plain old school fan of tangible paper products like me. This and so much more is yet to come in the next garden magic tutorial, so see you there.